Hey guys, it's Cherry Volk here. It's been a while. I really took a long ass break from fighting games for a while there, but for some reason, Street Fighter V has really gotten its hooks into me in the last couple of months, and Street Fighter 6 looks pretty cool, and Tekken 8 also looks pretty cool. And I'm doing better overall, and I'm all of a sudden feeling up to making content again that might be substantial to some degree. Um, so I felt like making a video today about my Sagat V skill and V trigger choice. So I use V skill 2, V trigger 1. I kind of want to break down why I use that in this video. So I'm gonna have V skill 1 Sagat as the dummy so I can do some comparisons for you guys. Well, I guess I could just use version select, it doesn't matter. Alright. Turn this jump setting off. Alright, so I kind of want to explain for those who might not be familiar. Maybe you're somebody who plays Sagat but you've never messed around with V Skill 2 specifically, which there's a lot of Sagat players who don't do that. And I want to explain why I think especially this is his superior V skill. So, as we all know, V skill 1 for Sagat, Tiger Charge, is, or Angry Scar, whatever you want to call it, it's literally just you get better DPs. They do more damage, and they have slightly better juggle potential in certain situations. Now, what the V skill 2 does is it enhances his knees. It changes their startup, it changes their frame data on block, and it gives them additional juggle properties. So an example of this would be like light punch, light kick, and immediate knee, like so. So if I try to do light punch, light kick, medium knee into EXDP, doesn't work. If I do this, does work. So this is already an advantage that you have over V skill 1, right? So let me record the dummy here. So you do less damage overall there. Now I know there's going to be people who are going to say, well, yeah, who cares? Well, the thing is, DP is really unoptimal in my opinion for what this character wants to do. So I've been studying a lot. I've watched a lot of videos by Zafrino, Total Sagat, and watched a lot of Bonchan footage. And in my opinion, so there's this misconception that Sagat is a zoner. And I would disagree that that's what Sagat's meant to do. He definitely has zoning potential, and he's historically been a very oppressive zoner in the past, and in Street Fighter V, that's just not what he seems to be. He seems to be more of a, like, push you into the corner bully character, and he uses his, big buttons to essentially, I guess you could say, zone you in the corner, right? Because this reaches pretty far, this reaches pretty far, this. He's going to keep you pinned down in the corner if you can do that, right? So, to me, it's just overall better to enhance your capacity to push to the corner, right? So, like, I'd rather just do this and take lesser damage, right? But the thing is, you get a 1-bar conversion that's superior anyway. So, like, let's say I do that does less damage than having the DP enhancement, but as you can see, you get way more screen real estate, and you're right on top of them. That's huge, in my opinion. Same thing goes for like his medium confirm, right? So there's 223 there, and you gain that much ground in terms of real estate, right? But if you do this, you get more space, and you're right on top of them for Oki if you want to. And if you don't want to do it that way, if you just want to push them to the corner, I mean, look at that, right? You're only -3 if you double dash, and you don't necessarily have to double dash, obviously. Or you could choose in between, do medium D, do 1 dash, and you're +17 interface. So this is way superior, because I do think that the actual objective of Sagat is to get them to the corner. So the way I've been describing the way that you play Sagat, kind of a nerd reference here, but if you've ever played a Final Fantasy game, and if you've ever fought the classic Final Fantasy boss, the Demon Wall, that's basically what Sagat is. Sagat is the Final Fantasy Demon Wall, in that, yes, you are playing a sort of keep-out game where you're zoning using your fireballs and your big normals, but you also want to keep moving forward. You want to use that. You want to use your wall to push them to the corner instead of trying to keep them away from you. This character, I don't think, can do very well in pure zoning wars. I just don't think that he's built for that in this game. So it's kind of funny, because a lot of people who are familiar with my content before, they may be not be surprised at all, really, that this is the character that I'm playing in this game, because in a way it's very similar to what Black Manta did in Injustice 2. You can play a very similar game where you use all your keep-out tools, but the point of your keep-out tools is not to keep them out, it's to force them to the corner, or they have to play footsies with their back to the wall in a very disadvantageous situation. You get to blow them up pretty hard. Now, I know Sagat's not like the best at doing this, of course. There's obviously better characters, but I find the more complicated mental stack that he has to juggle more stimulating. It's easier for me to play this character opposed to like Karen, for example. So I also want to talk about why I use V-Trigger 1, of course, instead of V-Trigger 2. I don't like V-Trigger 2 very much, because sometimes Sagat has to plow his way through your zoning, and I like the fact that this has 5 hits of Fireball trade, right? Like, if someone's trying to zone you out, they have to be terrified, especially, like, let's say you're out here. I mean, you can start pressure all the way from, like, out here, you run behind it, right? So, like, if I'm full screen, let's say you just make a read that they're gonna fire a fireball, you're at least right on top of them. But I think you can actually hit it. Like, if you're even here, though, right, you get the pressure in there. That alone makes it worth it, but also, I like the kinds of damage that you get off of his longer buttons using V-Trigger 1, because I think you get, between V-Skill 2 combined with V-Trigger 1, I think you get better 1 rep of V-Trigger damage. So, talking like this, that's, you know, no resources but the V-Trigger. You cannot do this, I think, this kind of damage with the V-Skill 2, or you at least get to do less of it, right? So I very much prefer doing this. So, like, even let's say we do this, right? So I get a crush counter with this. That's really useful to be able to do. You cannot do that specific conversion I just did with V-Trigger 2, and I like to use this button a fuck of a lot when you're dealing with people who like to mash pokes when you get in their space, right? You kind of like do this and back up and throw this out and get the crush counter. So with V-Trigger 1, I think it accelerates his strengths more when it comes to space control. Um, so I'm gonna be making content about Street Fighter Five. I'm gonna be talking about Sagat. Obviously, I'm not that great yet. As you can see, I'm gold, and I'm hovering between gold and ultra gold right now. That's where I'm plateauing. Um, but I thought people who liked my content would still like to see me do videos on fighting games and shit like that. Would like to see me play a game that I like for once. And I definitely like this game. I actually think it's crazy that I was talked away from this game by NRS players saying that this and MK11 were comparable. Anyone who tells you that this game and MK11 are comparable in terms of skill level is lying to you. They're an idiot. But anyway, just felt like making a short video talking about this. I might make a more in-depth video later. I'm also going to talk about I think I'm going to make a video also about how important optimization according to situation with Sagat is. I don't think that you can just do the same combo in every situation. I think you have to take full advantage of every opening you get with this character. So I'll probably make a video talking about that. So I'll catch you guys later. I hope you tune in, you enjoy the video, and if you're at all excited about me making content again. See you guys.